and Cuddles had her eye taken out because of infection, and the infection continues to recur. So if you have a look at this little area, then that's when was the surgery?
January.
Oh, January, okay.
She's had several infections since then.
Right, okay, and it keeps returning. It's being flushed regularly with saline. Let's take a little look. It's very fussy. So what were they getting you to do as part of the process?
She had antibiotics. Yeah. And I had to flush it.
You might need to come around this side then, just to look in here. So she was on antibiotics.
Yes. Yeah.
And you just had to flush this. Did they have
Twice
drains in, or
No.
did they anything like that?
No.
Okay. I'm just feeling around the bone area. Saline works brilliantly on cleaning up eye areas. But when you've got you've got systemic infection though, it doesn't work well at all. Let's start this way. Firstly, we're going to shave the hair around here because it's getting in the way. I hope I've got some hair. Yeah, there's probably enough of that to do. She's such a good patient. You are so good. She knows it's been bad. Listen, so sweetie. It's just your hair. There we go. Let's get that all the way back. That'll all regrow. We can get a better look. Yes. Okay, all the fluff off. We can see a little bit better. So when they did the first surgery, did they leave stitches in or was it glued?
Stitches.
Or it was stitches?
Yep.
Did you have to get them out or were they ones that dissolved?
Yeah, they had to come out. Yes.
Right, okay. Yep. So they sealed the whole thing. Okay. That would be part of the problem with any infection. We've found always that it has needed to drain from the inside out.
Oh, poor little pig.
I know, she's had her eye removed.
Oh.
Yeah. And that needs to stay open and clear. You can actually see where it's been draining pus and it's caused the fur to get sticky and horrible. She's rubbed at it and it's a bit awful. So I'll get you just to hold on to her for a minute. In her case, the pus that's coming out is in under the little area that was open, that little hole that you could see.
Yep.
And when you've got hair around that area, if she rubs her eye or bumps it or anything like that, it's going to make it worse. It'd be a bit like us if we had our hair in our eye.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. I don't want to squirt anybody. There we go. But it's a great way. So you'll need to get some Q-tips, a bit like this.
Yep.
Use the Debrazole to literally, and you can see the pus that's there.
Yep.
Any pus that's there needs to move away. And it's actually here, we'll clean up this hair here because there's lots of old debris that's there. All of this can cause infection. The other thing is flies, where you've got open areas, wounds like this.
Yep.
You need to make sure they can't get onto her.
Yep. How often do you want me to clean it? Twice a day?
Definitely twice a day,
Yep.
today and tomorrow. And what I'll get you to do is, I'm just softening this edge on what's there at the moment. Just see right up close. Definitely today and tomorrow, but it may only be necessary once tomorrow. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh, girl. And she's got a load of gunge in around the actual eye area.
Yeah, I didn't want to squeeze it or anything. It's not.
No, but the way it's been being cleaned
Oh,
with the saline, it doesn't help because it doesn't take it off.
It's sort of dried
And
it up.
yeah, it dries it up and it gets hard and then it's sticky. It's a bit like us if we've got, conjunctivitis.
Yep.
If we left that conjunctive mess on the eye and then scratched around and rubbed it through the day and it went through your hair and everywhere else, it would look really and feel really awful. And of course it's, it's an attractant to flies and other things. So you can see what's going on. We're just really cleaning her up thoroughly so she'll feel a whole lot better. And this little tissue, this is part of what's causing the infection. I think they've actually used glue rather than stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, and I think that's what's actually there. It's still in part. It's coming away. There we go. Yeah.
Oh wow.
With this gungy, see this gungy area? That's causing infection in underneath. I'm just going to get that off there, sweetheart. Yeah. It's coming away. There we go.
Oh, she usually screams when I touch it.
Yeah, but a lot of it is to do with how you're doing it and holding her and her feeling comfy about it. And I feel a lot better. There's another bit that needs to come off. Being able to see right up close, these magnified, it's very, very close.
Yeah.
You can see exactly what's going on there. And we can fix that. In fact, we can take a whole lot more hair off around here. I think the biggest part of her not healing is actually her hair growth, is probably flies and the pus in her hands, her little paws, irritating it, rubbing it, trying to, be worried about that aspect. And I think if you can deal with that as well as keeping it as it is when we finish, I think within a week, 10 days, you won't find it come back again. So we're going to swish this area once I've worked out and determined what we're dealing with here. Because it really, actually, there's nothing there. Her eye has actually closed. Now look at that. There we go. That's the problem. Right there. Are you able to see with your eyes? See, there's a little tiny hole, and if I press on it, that's where the liquid and mess is coming from. That's all that's left. So where it looked like there was a hole initially when we began, that was that gunge that was built up and stuck to the area. It's not part of her.
It wasn't open.
No. And that was holding the tears in the liquid that's trying to clear. It was keeping it up against there and forming infection. So it's gone. So now we've got a clear little area. And have a look, if you can, when I press this area, you'll notice, did you see the liquid come out? See, it's coming out of that little hole. The trick is to keep that little hole exactly as it is, because it needs to be able to drain. And the stuff that's draining, see, she's not even sensitive with people touching it. She's fine with this. We're going to shave that hair line back a bit further. Oh, sorry. Yeah, she's fine with that, but we're going to take that hair right back further so it's an open flat surface away from what we want to dry out and heal. That little tiny pinhole that's there, I'd assume that's where the last infection has erupted from. And that, I think that was residual glue that the vet may have tried to use and didn't use, and then used stitches maybe, or maybe used the two together. But that all needed to come off because it was holding that liquid back against her face and eye, and it couldn't be. I'm actually going to get this a little bit higher up on her head. Because she had so much in the way of pus up in that little area that we cleared. So it'll just help clear that a little bit. It's still definitely clear material coming out of there. I see what you mean by this little bulge. That's what you were concerned about. There's no infection coming out of that whatsoever. All the liquid has come out. I tend to think it is, as we first thought. So even after that little break that she's had on the grass, it's still clear, and we're just going to again wipe over with that Debrizol, making sure, there we go, lots more fluid out there. Every time you press on this, see that fluid coming out? It's clear, but I think you should actually do that. I think I'd be encouraging you to do that. So where I said, do that twice a day, I think initially maybe even increase that. Yeah, because that built up quite a bit of fluid then that wanted to come out just in the time she was on the grass. But it's still clear. And I think what we really have to do is let that get out, and it hasn't been able to. I think it's been building up. So yeah, that was interesting coming back to it just then, because you can see that little pocket built up again. So you might end up doing that 3-4 times a day initially. Just see how I've got this sideways, and I'm swooping over, just rotating the fluid out. So I'm going across the eye, which applies a bit of pressure there, so that if there is anything needing to come out, it can. Here we go. That's all we do. Just keep it clean. Let's get these ears done.